Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, ya la la lai lai, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 lai lai, ya la la la, ya la la. Join us, the words are easy. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, ya la la lai lai, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 lai lai, ya la la la, ya la la. Yai lai 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 lai, ya la la, yai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, ya la la lai lai, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 lai lai, ya la la la, ya la la. Shabbat Shalom. It is so wonderful to be here tonight with all of you on this Shabbat. I am Rabbi Michael Weiss. I am joined here on the bima by our accompanist, Robert Drosh, who always brings such beautiful music to our prayer experiences. Jan Knapik is at the back making sure that everything works as we go through our service. And as you know, in the modern Shabbat, there are a lot of things that need to go right. But the thing that is most right is that we are all here tonight praying together. We are so grateful to have all of you here on this Shabbat. For those of you joining us from the comfort of your homes, your own small sanctuary, we feel your presence here. And we really do believe here at Congregation Schaarai Zedek that when you join with us in prayer from your home becomes an extension of our sanctuary, and all our prayers move us in just the same way. At this moment, I'm going to invite you to turn around to someone in the congregation here and introduce yourself. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. It's nice for us to know each other. And if you're at home, you can send someone a text. Oh, that is a very nice sound. That's very nice to hear. So, as we go through our service tonight, there will be times where you are asked to stand if that is physically uncomfortable. Please, please remain seated because we know that you will be standing with us in your hearts. For those of you here in the sanctuary, all of the prayers that you'll need will be on the screen here. If you're at home, all the prayers you need will be on your screen. So don't turn off your phones if you're at home because otherwise you won't be able to join with us. But when there is a prayer from the prayer book, which you'll find under the seat in front of you, you can turn to that page, look around. A prayer book is a really nice thing to do with your hands when our phones are in our pockets. And there's all kinds of juicy stuff in there for us to explore if you get a little bit distracted. And it's okay to be on a different page from someone else. Shabbat is time for us to all find the page that we need to be on. So, we will begin our service tonight by inviting in Shabbat light as we invite up Jesse Shine and Alana Leopold to lead us in our candle blessings and our Kiddush. And if you have a set at home, feel free to get that ready. You can join your lights with ours.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahad likner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. And you can raise up the Kiddush cup.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who, finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagaf.
Amen.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. It's Manna Shabbat. Jesse, Ilana, thank you so much. May your Shabbat be blessed with sweetness, as may all of ours. We'll begin our service tonight singing Hine Matov, how good and how pleasant it is for all of us to be here, sitting, praying, singing, and enjoying together. Hine Matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. Hine Matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We rise together in our places or in our hearts for the Baruch, our call to worship. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, 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 yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. We'll read together. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. And we are seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha vidibarta bam beshivtecha bevetecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot ben einecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tizkeru, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, Vitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilo dosei feleh, nora tehilo dosei feleh. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu Amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki vada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugealo miad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Gal Yisrael. We'll read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, and over Jerusalem. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We'll join together in Vishamru. This may be a new one, but if you've heard it the first time, it's the same the other times through. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam, berit olam, ve'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael, Yisrael Oti leolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim vet haaretz uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbat vayinafas Shabbat Shabbat vayinafas V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam Berit olam Beini uven b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam Oti leolam Oti leolam. We'll rise now in our places or in our hearts for the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah El Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot Umidom Elach Melech Meimit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yehalelucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. And we are seated. We'll read together. We invite peace into our hearts, our relationships, and our world, reflecting on our own capacity to bring and to receive peace in ever greater measure. What knots inside me need to be untied? What tensions keep me from a sense of peace? With whom am I in conflict at this moment? Do I want to make peace? Open my heart, source of peace. Slow down my breathing and quiet my spirit, so that I may bring your peace into all my encounters. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael v'shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. And having prayed for the healing of the world through God's greatest gift of peace brought about by our own hands, we also think of those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit, those who lie on beds of pain and could not be here with us tonight. We think of those who suffer from COVID-19 and its after effects. We think of those who despair from loneliness and hurt. We think of the doctors and nurses and medical professionals who take care of our loved ones with wisdom, kindness, and fortitude. At this time, I want each of us to take a moment to think of someone in need of healing. Hold them tightly in your heart and make the intention after services to make a call or send a text. Let them know that you care. So with those names in our hearts, those intentions set for ourselves on this Shabbat, we'll join together in our communal prayer for healing. Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We'll take a moment now for our own silent prayer to give voice to the kinds of prayers that can only come out in the quiet and comfort of Shabbat. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oh, there it is. So tonight, I wanted to say something publicly that my bar and bat mitzvah students hear all the time. But it can't be said enough, even if they're tired of hearing it. That I am so proud of all of them, past, present, and future, for what they have taken on or took on, and so impressed by what they will and have been able to do. Getting up in front of a crowd to lead a service, especially for the first time, is not easy. Leading prayers and reading in Hebrew is a challenge, especially when Hebrew isn't most of our students' first language. Who'd have thought? And reading or chanting Torah for the community might be the most challenging part. Even if you already have a good grasp of Hebrew, the Torah is written in a form of Hebrew very different from the modern day language. Even for Israeli bar or bat mitzvah students, it's like reading Shakespeare. For a lot of our students, after learning to read their Torah portion comes learning to chant it. For our ancestors, singing the text of the Torah was probably a way of memorizing the words and a way of making the Torah stories more vibrant and interesting for a congregation. So today, we have our 12-year-olds reading and now singing ancient words in another language. But that's not all. Once they get good at reading or chanting their section of Torah, we ask them to start reading right from the scroll, which, if you haven't seen it, has no vowels with which to pronounce the words, nor any of the symbols that are necessary for chanting. And then they do all of this in 1 year. Our B'nai Mitzvah students undertake an enormous challenge, and most of them are not just incredibly proud of themselves by the end of the day of their service. They almost cannot believe what they were able to accomplish. Now, there's a question I've never been asked out loud, but I imagine it has occurred to one or more of my students after a long, possibly excruciating study session. Why do we have our students do this? Why is it important for them to read from the Torah scroll right back there? I know Rabbi Simon and Cantor Canizaro would have their own explanations, but I thought of a few of my own. First off, reading from the Torah connects both those who are reading and those who are listening to our Jewish heritage and the ancient traditions of our people. The Torah is at the center of Jewish religion, and everything we do as Jews can be found to have its root there. And the public reading of the story of our people has brought Jews together for millennia. Our students thus have the privilege of becoming links in that chain of tradition. Second, reading a Torah portion gives our bar or bat mitzvah students ownership of a piece of that story. I hope that most of you who celebrated becoming bar or bat mitzvah remember what your Torah portion was called, or at least what it was about, because it belongs to you. It is yours forever. It is a piece of tradition that you bring to life with your own voice in the presence of the Jewish people. Every single one of us should be able to find that little corner of Judaism that we can truly love. That is ours. And third, being a bar or bat mitzvah student is a masterclass in setting a goal and working hard to accomplish it. As I've said, reading Torah is no small thing. It takes a great deal of time, energy, practice, and commitment. For some of our students, it is very likely the first big project that they've taken on, mostly on their own. Standing on the bima and achieving what they set out to do can be powerful evidence that they are capable of taking on big challenges and mastering them. Through the process of learning to lead a bar or bat mitzvah service, each of our students is helped to become a better, more committed Jew, and indeed to become more whole as a person. This is something that our tradition has understood for a very long time. Perhaps expressed best in a custom that you may be aware of, connected to the public reading of Torah. In Ashkenazi communities, those with their roots in Eastern Europe, when someone has read a section of Torah, the congregation says, Yashar koach, may your strength be firm. Has anyone ever heard that before? Okay, I'm seeing some nods out there. And Yashar koach is a way of acknowledging the significant work that it takes to read or chant Torah. More power to you, we say, and may that strength lead you to continue studying and learning. But something special happens when we read the last section of one of the 5 books of our Torah. And tonight, this weekend, we are finishing off the book of Numbers with the last portion, Matot Maseh. So when we get to the end of one of the books, we amp up the volume by offering the phrase, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek. Let's try that. Repeat it after me. Chazak, V'nit Chazek. You got it in one. Yeah. Be strong, and let us be strengthened. This custom has changed slightly over time. Originally, at the end of every aliyah, or Torah reading, the reader would be offered a hearty chazak by the community. And in Sephardic communities, even today, readers are greeted by chazak uvaruch, be strong and be blessed, as they return to their seats after reading. I believe that there is a lesson for us to find here. Why don't we simply offer congratulations or gratitude for the hard work our Torah readers undertake? Why do we bless them with chazakah, strength? Well, the answer may lie within the more specific meaning of the word. Strength is certainly an okay translation. Chazak may actually originate from the book of 2 Samuel, as King David's general Yoav exhorts his soldiers before battle with Chazak v'nit chazak. Be strong and let us summon up our strength for the sake of our people and the towns of our God. God offers Joshua a similar motivation before endeavoring to conquer the promised land. Chazak ve'ematz, be strong and courageous. Now, I do need to clarify. We are not asking our 12-year-old students to muster up their military might to conquer a nation. Indeed, the association of the phrase chazak, chazak with the reading of Torah suggests that it has more to do with spiritual strength or fortitude rather than physical force. Sometimes the word chazak refers to fortifying or rebuilding a city, but the meaning that resonates most with me is that of holding firm or grasping something tightly. As it says in the book of Job, B'tzidkati hechazakti, I will grasp tightly my sense of justice. Perhaps real strength is about holding firmly those things which are most important to us. I would argue that a great translation of chazakah might be integrity, or maybe moral fortitude. To be strong means to persist in what we know is right and true, despite obstacles. And boy, are there obstacles. Our students have so many things competing for their time. I am so proud that we have dedicated lacrosse players and sailors and Minecrafters in our community. And that makes me doubly grateful when our students make the time and effort to engage with our tradition and words of Torah. They have the chazakah to start something difficult, stick to it, even if it isn't fun, and to finish it. And what goes for our students goes for the rest of us as well. There are so many hurdles. Our society values easy answers. Chazak, cries the voice of our tradition. Stand firm in perceiving nuance, in frequently engaging with complex ideas, in discussing and arguing with others for the pursuit of truth. We are assailed by the temptation of instant gratification, living within a system that so often asks us to exploit others for our own benefit or convenience. Chazak, hold fast to the values of justice and mercy. Engage in the exhausting work of remaking our world to honor human dignity and lift up every living being. Do not give in to despair or complacency. There are forces of division that aim to tear us apart. They offer the thrill and intoxication of hate and fear, giving us an other to blame for all of our problems. V'nitchazek, fortify yourselves with love and understanding. Give prejudice no quarter within your heart. Teach yourself and your children the infinite value of human life, however naive or unfashionable others might find it. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. These words are a benchmark for us, a continual reminder as we go through our yearly cycle of Torah reading. They are not just words of congratulations for reading the Torah. They are an exhortation for all of us to strengthen ourselves to live with integrity. They ask us to do the right thing, even when it's the hard thing. And they call on us to find caring community that can support us in our worthy endeavors. With this kind of strength, we can make our actions reflect our values, build deeper relationships with our fellow human beings, and make our lives that much more meaningful. May all of us find chazakah in ourselves, and may we always acknowledge and nurture the chazakah in each other. Shabbat Shalom. And now, it's time for announcements. All that build-up. So, there are always tons of things happening here at Schaarai Zedek, and as the summer comes to a close, that schedule only gets busier and more enticing. Tomorrow morning, you can join us for Torah study at 9 a.m. That is in the room, in the building, and on Zoom. So if you're not quite camera ready by then, you can feel free to join us, and I encourage you to share your words of wisdom either way. We have Romeos on Thursday. This time it is just the Romeos, but I think we have the Juliets back in the month after August, September, yeah. And that is going to be a time where you can bring in the things that you care about. So it should be a really interesting and engaging program. Next Thursday. There are all kinds of wonderful events going on here at the temple. I really encourage you to make zedek.org your homepage so you can always see what's going on. The last thing I'll say, because Robert reminded me to say it, is Wednesdays at noon, I'll be continuing my class on Musar, which is sort of a system of Jewish ethics. We're working through this really wonderful book, Orchot HaTzadikim. It was written in the 13th century. It could have been written yesterday. It's just really impressive. So if you want to join in, that is only on Zoom. So if you are at work and you want to grab a little bit of time, if you're on the road and you can drive safely while listening to a Zoom call, we would love to have you join us and do a little bit of learning to sort of enrich what might just be a regular old boring work day. It is a real gift to be here with everyone tonight. And yet, we must begin to conclude our service with Aleinu. Let's rise together. Aleinu leshaveach la'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad. And we are seated. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We think at this time of those who strengthened us with their lives, who shared generously of their wisdom and love. We think at this time of those who have been laid to rest in recent days. Phyllis Borel, Allison Fine Parnell, Lauren Kahn, Harvey Freeman, Susan Stout, Neil Schwartz. And we think of those whose yahrzeits we commemorate on this Shabbat, the memorials of whose deaths we observe. Jose Almorza, Jules Bayless, Joseph Barrick, Maxwell Bentley, Lawrence Berlin, Cy Block, Marcia Butler, Jules Bucksbaum, Irving Chalfin, Wayne Collar, Morton Cooper, Irving Ehrlich, Edward Epstein, Nellie Friedman, Maurice Garrett, Rose Gobioff, Jean Goldstein, Beth Ann Greenberg, Marshall Gross, Pauline Haas, Manya Hampel, Fred Hollander, Lillian Horwitz, Ida Catt, Morton Kotler, Christine Langsom, Sylvia Lean, Rhoda Lesner, Pearl Levine, Naoma Levinson, Raymond Lewis, Jill Libby, Susan Madry, Sarah Maurer, James Mengert, Rebecca Mensch, Joan Miller, Nancy Neiman, Florence Newborn, Charles Orlowski, Myrna Ozinski, Louis Pecker, Heidi Polsky, Seymour Polster, Marion Roffer, Irene Rohr, Harry Rosen, Jordan Rosenberg, Richard Roslow, Herbert Rothenberg, Aaron Sachs, Sam Schulman, Dorothy Seckbach, Norman Senfeld, Morris Schulman, Michael Silvers, Leonard Stein, James Suarez, Eleanor Tepper, Minnie Tobin, Fred Urovsky, Leo Weiss, Edmund Whitman, and Helen Zalk. And to those names we add the names of all of our loved ones that we're thinking of, those who, though they are no longer with us, their light continues to shine on through us. We think of those around the world who have lost their lives to violence, hatred, anger, the chaos of nature, or neglect. We'll rise together as a community, offering the mourner's Kaddish, a blessing giving thanks to God for sharing such special lives with us. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divarach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudasha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say together, Amen. And we may be seated. So we will close our Shabbat this evening with Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa b'chefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra. Yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la la la, yalla la 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 la. Beyado afkid ruchi, ve'et ishan ve'aira, ve'im ruchi geviati. Adonai li velo ira. Yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la la la, yalla la 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 la. And as we make our way into our oneg, I will invite up all of our young people, although we are all young in spirit, to come up and enjoy some challah for our motzi. So that's anyone under 18. There we go. Oh, they are? You're right. They are all at camp. Okay. Okay, you guys get all the challah then. Okay? Here, you can hold that. Just hold the whole thing. Okay, that's all yours. Let's motz. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lehem min haaretz. Amen. V'te'avon Shabbat Shalom. May this Shabbat give us nourishment and strength for the week ahead. Shabbat Shalom. You can eat.
Shalom Rab al Yisrael Hamcha ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Hamcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Rab Yisrael Amcha ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Ve'hakol Yoshvei Tevel Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Leolam V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha beit Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha ve'al kol yoshvei tevel Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Leolam
וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה, לעסוק בדברי תורה. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu לעסוק בדברי תורה, לעסוק בדברי תורה. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue.
ותפארת במקדשו, 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 ותפארת במקדשו. שים שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל עמך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל עמך. So bring it down now, all around now, oh, bring it down on us. So bring it down now, we're all around now, oh, go on, spread some love. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. So bring it down now, we're all around now, oh, bring it down on us. So bring it down now, all around now, oh, go on, spread some love, go on, spread some love, I said go on, spread some love. Sim shalom
I look up, you're not there. Not ready, I'm not prepared. I need strength to climb. I reach and still I find that I'm weak and I'm scared. Esainai ele harim, me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. Esainai ele harim, me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. I need rest, I can't sleep. with me. Let rest be upon me tonight. Esainai el harim, me'ain yavo yavo Ezri. 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 Esainai el harim, me'ain yavo yavo Ezri.
Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Kavela. 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 Lo tevoshi velo tikami, matishtochachi umatemi. Bach yechesu aniye ami, venivneta ir al tila. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Kavela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Kavela. V'hayu im shisa shosayich, v'rachaku chomer v'layich. Yasis alayich Elohayich, kivsos chatam al kala. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Kavela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Kavela. Yamin u'smol tifrotzi, ve'et Adonai taritzi. Al yadish ben parti venismecha venagila. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Kavela.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Shalom. Shalom.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. 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 ועל כל ישראל,
ועל כל יושבי תבל, ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
Ya Ribon Olam, Ve'almaya Antu Malka, Melech Malchaya. Ya Ribon Olam, Ve'almaya Antu Malka, Melech Malchaya. Ya Ribon Olam Ve'almaya Antu Malka Melech Malchaya Ovad Gevurtech Betim Haya Shefar Kadamach Le'achavaya Ya Ribon Olam Ve'almaya Antu Malka Melech Malchaya Ovad Gevurtech Betim Haya Shefar Kadamach Le'achavaya Ya Ribon Olam Ve'almaya Antu Malka Melech Malchaya Ya Ribon Olam Ve'almaya Antu Malka Melech Malchaya ולמקדשך טובו לקודש קודשין עטרתי ויחדו רוחין ונפשין ויזמרו לך